Good morning. I'm Bill Zortman, and welcome to our October Report Card Show. Show number is 3,864 in our original It's Your Business series. This monthly show for a decade or so has brought together the leader of the Real Estate Association, the Home Builders Association, to give you an open look at the trends, the exact figures, even the finances that share who can buy at a level that generally faces appraisal. At most recently, we've had multiple bids. Ann Farrell is in the building this morning, 2022 President of Real Estate Association. Are you here, Ann?
I'm here and excited to be.
And we got this guy named Tony Bachman. You've been the keynoter. Can you explain what a keynoter is?
Well, that was a term that you've given me, but I am assuming that I'm setting the pace for where we're going here for the rest of the day.
You know, and that's certainly of interest. We are all able to look now at the January 1st through the September 30th numbers. But one of the things you do is to look at the numbers, study, and then you provide all these unshaven lines that I see that are all over the place. Can you tell us what's up this morning?
Well, so what I send you is kind of like my abridged thought of like what do they call it? It's basically shorthand. My mental shorthand that I send you, because it's like one of those things. This market there's a lot of challenges in this market, and I think when you look at the headlines, they talk about challenges at a really high level, but what they don't come across is they talk about some of the opportunities that are out there, and that's what I want to cover. Yes, let's talk about the challenges, but let's talk about the opportunities also in this marketplace.
And what are you seeing? You were telling me that open houses and real estate open houses are returning for those that want to get out and see and then be able to talk to their customers.
Exactly, and it's a good thing. You know, I want to encourage people to attend those open houses. It gives you the opportunity to see a house a second time or a first time before you go in with your agent. So those open houses are a great event.
Challenges. What would you start with? The ABCs?
The biggest challenge right now is interest rates. I mean, when you see interest rates that are at somewhere close to 7%, what that translates to for an average loan is somewhere between $600 to $800 a month. So, yes, that's a little bit of a financial challenge that people have to wrap their head around. Also, what it done, it has diminished some of the buyers' purchasing power, meaning they may have been looking at a $300,000 home, and now to make the same payment, they may have to be looking at something closer to like $250,000 home. But in the same token, when people say maybe prices are too high, I don't think we should do this, let's wait. I've had many conversations with people who rent, and they're getting notifications that their rent's going up $500, $600, $700 a month. So, again, when you're talking to mortgage payments gone up a little bit, yes, we get it because of interest rates, but also the rent in most of these apartments and condos, that sort of thing, has also gone up. So you have to live somewhere, so it's worth kind of checking things out and making sure that you're making the right decision as opposed to signing a one-year lease. The other nice thing about owning your home is you've got a set price every month that you'll be working with, as opposed to you're subject to somebody saying, hey, the rent's going up.
Next hour, I've got Chuck Sutton in, and he and I had a conversation this morning. He said he thought he was going to get $9,000 for a property for land in Sioux Falls, Minnehaha County. He got $15,000. And he's seeing those kind of numbers right now that people are saying, what's going on, who should be buying, who should be doing what. It's the same thing with houses.
Yeah.
Well, I would say anybody who should be buying are those people who are ready to own their own home and want to take control of their finances. And when it comes to those interest rates going up, this is where you really want to be teaming up with your lender and your agent, because the lenders have some great programs out there. And you might find that it's going to cost you about the same just because there's different programs. So really important to be planning and cooperating and working with your lender and your agent.
All right. Who's calling you right now, Ann? Well, what kind of people are calling?
The same buyers I had before. It's people who are ready to own, wanting to know what can they really afford, and how do we revamp maybe what our goals and our dream house look like? How do we still get the home we need, and what can we do later to impact that house so it is the dream home?
Tony, the other thing that used to be back in the old days when we were just starting in real estate.
Back to, 2019 or what are you talking
Well,
about?
yeah, I'm still learning every day. But,
Absolutely.
But I think it was 2002 for me
Yeah.
that I got started. But we never thought about buying homes in the wintertime. Is that different in 2022?
It's changed because technology has changed that. Demand has changed that. I mean, we've seen just our community has grown so much and is going to continue to grow. So there isn't like this buying time. I mean, obviously, spring of the year is always like this great time, especially if you have a lake home or you have an acreage or something like that. But I think, I have probably my bigger months when it comes to, real estate in November, December, January. So it's just contrary to what people think. I think in reference to the challenges that we were having this discussion about is because the interest rates have gone up another 0.75% in September, we have buyers and sellers who just kind of push the pause button. And when it happened really quickly. And so we as agents have seen this, where all of a sudden, that's why we're doing the open houses. We're having realtor open houses. But I also know that once people just get accustomed to where we're at, those people who have pushed pause are going to jump right back in. And, to Ann's point, people are still calling. They're still having the conversations. They just want us to make sense of the market. And I think moving forward, home ownership is still the best way to hedge against inflation.
You had 67 pages of notes, I think, this morning, or maybe it was 33. I don't know what it was, but there was a lot.
We'll do the median. The median's probably right about 49.
90 seconds for you to tell us what's in them and what people need to know before we get on to the presidents of the two associations.
Absolutely. So, number one, I want to talk about the opportunity because I laid this out as challenges and opportunities. The opportunity is the fact that right now you have a little more inventory for buyers to work with. You have some buyers who have just stepped back. That means there's less buyers looking at some of these homes. We currently have a marketplace that when it comes to showings, because we can track the number of showings, nationwide and in our marketplace, our current showing schedule is about the same as 2019. So it isn't like things have fallen off. It's just that we had such frenetic activity over 2020, 2021, and even in the early part of 2022. But I think the opportunity for a buyer is you have more homes to look at. Buyers now have the ability to negotiate when it comes to inspections as opposed to having to waive inspections. Buyers are not having to come to the table with, depending on how the home is priced, but most times you're buying a home somewhere close to list price. So I think prices, they haven't fallen. They've just leveled out.
Exactly.
So,
I'd agree.
Yeah. So I just think that therein lies the opportunity. The other opportunity that's kind of not really talked about is people who own homes. The amount of equity they have in their homes gives them a lot of latitude to be able to do some other financial decisions in their lives, whether it's sending kids to college, whether it's going on their dream vacation, or if they want to take that money that they've accumulated for equity and leverage that into a home that fits them, now that they're empty nesters, or they want something with an HOA or a homeowners association. So,
all right, Ann, tough question for you. But as I looked at the figures, I was surprised at the three communities that are higher as far as sales and also in the ownership, the number of homes that are available. And you'd have thought it probably would have been Harrisburg, T, and Brandon. No, it was Madison that was up 24%, and the number of homes for sale up 25%. Del Rapids up 19% as far as homes sold. Del Rapids new listings up 1.7%. Hartford, what the heck is going on? 4.5% higher, and Hartford new listings up 19%. Everybody else is on the downslide. What's going on?
Well, that's where there were homes. The homes were available there, and people are those are great communities. People are, especially people moving in too, they're ready for that smaller community, and so you're seeing a lot of shift, and they're good places to live.
Harrisburg would tell you now, Bill, not so fast, my friend. They have new listings that are up 17%. However, their sales are off 10%. So at some point, something's going to catch up. But for the most part, more and more people cannot find the price they want in Sioux Falls. They're having to go a little further out. Wouldn't you agree?
There is some of that, and we do have a lot of new builds going on in those communities. So you're going to have a lot of homes that are on the market, but they're not going to be ready for another couple of months, some of them. So it's going to look like there's a whole lot of inventory there as we're waiting to get those finished.
Builders have been able to take advantage of the land prices in some of those smaller communities.
The land pricing,
and so that then allows the pricing on the homes, if it's new construction, to be a little less than if you're building something right here in the immediate Sioux Falls or on the edge. Now, I'm not discouraging and saying that there isn't people buying in Sioux Falls. They just can't develop things fast enough. They can't put enough infrastructure in the ground to satisfy. I would just say, my closing remarks were related to all this one, opportunity and challenges. The challenge is for us as a community to be able to get these developments up and running. The opportunity is that our growth, we're not going to slow down. We're going to continue to go. Now, are we going to be as crazy as it has been in the last couple of years? No, but we're going to go more to a traditional market, but we're still on an aggressive side of a traditional market, and homes are still appreciating.
All right. What I want to finish with you on is the last 80 days of 2022. What's going to happen by the time we talk January 1st? Will we have anything that's going to change here? Will be more and more people that are going to get out of the market until they come back in spring? What's going to be the trend?
I think, again, we talked about buyers and sellers pushing the pause button. I think it's just them making some sense of what's happening in the marketplace and us having these conversations, them listening to the conversations, do a little more reading. Then they're like, okay, let's move forward. So I anticipate that our demand is going to continue, and I like the fact that we have a few more listings coming up because people are realizing, yes, I do have some equity in my house. I now can take that equity and put it toward, something that will better fit our family. So, like anything, we'd like to. It's a double-edged sword. If we want things to be as busy as they were, and there's 10 offers on every table, and everybody's complaining because there's no inventory, well, now we have some inventory. Now we don't have to worry about, yes, there's still potential for multiple offers, but not like it was.
Exactly.
So I think this is a great market. I welcome it, and it's not that the sky is falling. Actually, this is a good thing for both buyers and sellers at this point.
All right. John Beach is going to join us. He, like our good friend Ann, is in the final months of their year. They've been great leaders. We'll see what they have to say together.
All right.